People of the internet, I am Nick from Mercy Magic, and today I'm going to show you my updated deck profile of Blue-Black Control. Now, like I said in a couple of previous videos, I haven't been able to play as much Magic as before because of my swim season, but that has changed. My swim schedule has changed from being now from night to the morning, meaning I get to start playing as much Magic as I did before my swim season began. And also because my tennis practices are super early in the morning, they're at like 9:30 a.m. or something, I also get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And play Magic, which I did, so more of that's going to be on the way. But that's not why you guys are here. You're here for this deck profile. Let's get started with it, shall we? Nothing much has changed. I've really only changed a few cards, but they are relevant to the deck, so let's get started. 4 Evolving Wilds because I'm too poor to afford Polluted Deltas. I mean, they perform the same duty, and, you know, they're fetch lands. 4 Temple of Deceit is joined with 2 Temple of Mystery. 6 Skylands is good. I feel like one of these should be a Temple of Malice just because I can produce black instead of mostly blue. But they perform the same function, and they're perfectly fine. You can replace them with whatever you want. It's just, I find the Temple of Mystery more useful here. The fact that I have them was also a big part too. You know, scrying in a control deck is something you want to do, especially with our Pro Lake Ancient, that you get to pick up and return lands to your hand, so that's always relevant. For life gain, we have triple Dismal Backwater. I want a 4th one. 2 Radiant Fountain. I'll probably leave this at 2, maybe 3, depending on if I can fit them in or not. But the life gain is perfectly fine. This has worked as well. And there's more life gain on the sideboard. Now, some of you are going to think I'm an idiot for this choice, double Mana Confluence. The reason these are in here is because A, I had them, and B, sometimes on turn 3, I don't want to play a tap land, so I can't cast my counter spell or my removal spell. So this is a substitute for it. This will get replaced eventually by something, I just don't know what yet, but for now, I guess they work. It hasn't caused me too much issue. I haven't seen too many aggressive decks right now, but that'll probably change. Urborg, because it's Urborg, do I have to explain it? My basic count has trimmed down. Instead of it being 6 and 6, it's now 5 and 4. The Mana Confluences would probably be a 6-5 split, but I feel like Mana Confluence is better since it also, with Urborg, I don't have to pay life for it, so. I believe we're on 25 lands or something. I didn't take the time to count it. But, you know, in a control deck, you want to play at least 25, 26 lands. It gets everything that you want faster, and you want to make a land drop every turn because that's basically the rules of the control deck. I moved Silumgar up to 2 because he's just so evasive. You know, most decks in the format now can't deal with him, you know. No Banishing Light, no Hero's Downfall, no... what else targets this motherfucker? No Devouring Light, no Burn Spells. The only way you deal with him is with Counterspell or Massive Board Wipe, which is why he got moved up to 2. I'm still playing the 1 Dragon Lord because, I mean, why not? It's a 3/5 that takes Planeswalkers. I don't have to go over what he does. And I'm sorry for all the sweeping. It's a mess up here. I'm going to have to clean my room eventually. I'm probably going to do it tomorrow since that's when I'm not doing anything. And then I'm still maining 1 Pro Lake Ancient because this guy's just a beast. Most of the control decks do not expect this from me. They think, okay, he's playing with stereotypical Icefall Regents. The thing is, I have found Icefall Regent terrible this format. Through my testing, I just don't think that it's worth it anymore to run in your main deck, so that's why I'm just maining a Pro Lake Ancient. You know, most control decks are up to like 7 or 8 creatures. I play 4. 4 anticipates. Some decks would play Silumgar Scorn in this place, but in reality, I only have 3 dragons, so I don't think Silumgar Scorn is that good in this deck. And plus, this takes for the relevant spell that you want. You know, mid to late game, it may be dead, but in the early game, it's a 2 mana, end of turn spell to go get a card. You're still, you know, breaking even. You're finding a relevant spell for later in the game. Removal is 2 Ultimate Price and 2 Bile Blights. This kills almost everything. And this just says, tokens, go die in a fire. Or if you have to, you can block with a Silumgar and then Bile Blight. My favorite thing is, when Silumgar attacks, it makes their opposing Silumgar a 2/6. Let's just say they block to make it a 2/3. You Bile Blight your own Silumgar, making it a 0/4, and it kills their Silumgar since it has 3 toughness, which is one of my favorite plays that I've actually pulled off at FNM and online. Triple Dissolve and Triple Hero's Downfall. I don't think I have to explain these choices. They're basically mandatory in this control deck. You know, not having these makes the deck a lot weaker, and rotation's gonna hurt. Maybe afterwards I'll be able to rebuild it, but I can't guarantee it. I'll build something in Modern similar to this. Triple Jace's Ingenuity, just so that you can go +2. And, you know, you cycle through it. Sometimes at the end of your opponent's turn, if they tap out for Siege Run, you can just say, okay, I'm going to draw 3 cards and find answers. Or you could find lands that you need. I moved Aether Spouts up from 1 to 2, mainly because I think the card is really good. You know, really the only way they have to interact with this card is counter it, or they could kill a creature so it doesn't go to the top of the deck for some reason. I've seen people do that. Maybe they had a scry and they want to leave it on top, so they say, okay, I'll kill my creatures. That way Aether Spouts doesn't send them away. But this is really good against the Jeskai Tokens deck, where game 1, most decks don't have answers for it. And they're only expecting you to play 1 copy, so when the second one shows up, they're like, oh, there's not much I can do about that. So Aether Spouts is probably one of the best cards in the deck. This, I think, is the best card in the deck, the 4 Digs. I do not have to explain how good this card is. You know, it's a staple in any island deck that isn't, you know, blue-red aggro, Jeskai aggro, blue-white heroic, and even some of those decks that I just listed play Dig Through Time on their sideboard because of how good it is. You know, the fact that you get to go filter from your top 7 is amazing. I actually cut down Despise from 4 to 2. I've lost faith in hand attack. In the original build that I had, I was playing no hand attack, and then I put this back at 2. It works perfectly fine. You know, in the early game, it's taking the stuff that you would take with, like, Thoughtseize and Duress. So it's perfect. And because, you know, taking a Siege Rhino with it is just, you know, the best feeling in the world. And then my last card in my main deck are 2 Crux of Fate. I have no Perilous Faults, they're not in here. Maybe I'd play them. I've lost a little bit of faith in the card because of all the artifact and enchantment destruction. And besides, really the only way decks are going to interact with this is a counterspell, or they're just going to burn your face. And if they're waiting for you to tap mana, then they're really desperate to throw cards in their hand, meaning your hand attack gets a little better. That was the main deck. It is 60 cards. You can, I would say, replace the Evolving Ones with Polluted Deltas immediately, and replace the Mana Confluences with a Dismal Backwater and a Radiant Fountain. Other than that, the deck's perfect in my opinion. You know, not many people have the build that I do, and that's why it keeps going 5-0 and 4 at one of my local shop. Because nobody's expecting all the tech that I have, and through my testing, no one expects an online. They're like, wait, you play that card? It's, you know, one of control decks. I haven't liked it a while, and now that this is a deck that is actually playable, I love it. Blue-Black may not be the strongest control deck right now, but damn it, it's a control deck and nobody really expects it. Sideboard. 1 Tasker the Golden Fang. He's in here as the control and mid-range decks. I'm sorry for my speech, I'm exhausted. Swim at 7 AM is a kick in the ass. This card is just, you know, it lets you filter your graveyard for future digs or other plays that you might be doing. And it can get you the cards back depending on how you set up your Scrylands with Tasker. 3 Duress are on the sideboard. It got cut down from 4 to 3 for an extra copy of Bile Blight, but I'll explain that in a moment. Duress is just a bomb in the sideboard. It comes in against the control decks to take their Ugins, their Perilous Faults, their Counter Magic. Any relevant spell you want to take, Duress can take. 2 more Bile Blights because aggressive decks can go kill themselves. And because, you know, tokens. 2 copies of Negator in my sideboard. This is for the control matchup as well. It can also come in against Mono Red because it negates the counters their Stoke the Flames, their Lightning Strikes, and their token makers like Dragon Fodder and Hordling Outburst, and that's what you really care about. 2 more ultimate prices because really Mono Green Devotion and Red Green Dragons can go suck a dick. 2 Dread and Sorrow because, you know, board wipe and you scry. I'm still keeping the 2 Palace Sieges. I think this card is an awesome sideboard tech. I've seen people at my shop actually copy me and play Palace Sieges in their sideboard in their Esper control decks. I'm like, oh dude, really? But I think the card is an awesome sideboard card that people need to recognize more and play, and I'm happy that they are. Just so that, you know, if you slam this on turn 5 against mono red or any aggressive deck, you probably win the game. Because they can't outrace your life gain unless their board is really good. And in that case, you probably don't want to play this, you probably want to play Crux of Fate. Last card in my sideboard is a 1-of Liliana Vess. I mean, she can either make them discard, you can either go tutor, and if you're at the point of the game where you can use her ultimate ability, then you just get a ton of creatures with end of the battlefield effects, and you can go ham. So that is it for my take on blue-black control for Dragons of Tarkir Standard. I would love to hear what you guys think of the deck in the comment section below. Anyway, I'm Nick from Motor City Magic. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.